Hello everyone, this is Joyboy P. First of all, I just wanted to say that sorry this video is so late. This video could have been up not only a week or so after the Titan X's release date, but because of issues with the card and issues with Wi-Fi system, I've been putting it back and putting it back, and now that the summer's started, I've just been so busy with work, I've not had the spare time to do it. And it's just been so busy, I've just not had the motivation to do it as well. So again, sorry that it's so late. He had issues with the card because when it come to water cooling it, he pulled it out of his system and realised there was a transistor sticking straight up on it, which was coming away from the DVI part of the card. So we had to get that RMA'd. We don't know how that happened, we just noticed it as we were about to water cool the system. So that was nearly 2 months in RMA. So yeah, enough with the excuses, and sorry about that. I guess into the video. Today I'm excited to bring you the NVIDIA GeForce GTX Titan X, as made by Gigabyte. Has 12 gigs of GDDR5 RAM. I will have to say first, so if my voice sounds a bit harsh today, I've got a bit of a sore throat and stuffed sinuses. So it supports the game stream, GameWorks, G-Sync and DirectX 12, and OC Guru 2, which is Gigabyte's overclocking software. I much prefer MSI Afterburner though. So we won't spend long on the box. So got the standard sort of things that are usually on Gigabyte's boxes. The box did arrive damaged here. It's been crushed, and there are signs of damage inside the box, but nowhere near as bad as what my 780 Ti came out. So you got the Unlock Gaming Spirit there. Brings. Oh, I can't really talk too much. I'll let you read it. As I said, this is the sort of information which you can find on the Gigabyte website. That's what your OC Guru 2 looks like. As I said, it's not bad software. I just much prefer MSI Afterburner. Yeah, let's open up the box. And once again, it's worth mentioning this isn't my graphics card, it's Wi-Fi's. I do want to get one of these myself, but it's going to take me many months to save up for it, as I do have a few upgrades planned for my computer. As usual, we have the Gigabyte in a gloss black on the matte black box. I've already taken it out of its bag and taken the covers off it. So it's got lovely black metal finish, quite well, nicely textured. Now we did run this fan at maximum speed in this system, and it doesn't half sound like a hairdryer. But as everyone has the one issue, no backplate. NVIDIA's been doing backplates for a little while now as standard on their graphics cards, but oh well. Apparently one of their excuses is they're expecting us to water cool it, as it does run very hot with the reference cooler, and you often get backplates with your water blocks. Now there you can see, was it 4, 8, 12 of the RAM modules, I believe that those are. So yeah, I'll just put this to one side for a moment. We'll go over what's in the box. We'll put that one upside down. As I said, some signs of crush damage in the box, but it does work fine. Your standard 8-pin and 6-pin to Multi-X adapters there. A quick user guide, and your driver disc. Again, always go to the website for the latest drivers. It's a good thing with graphics cards, you don't get many things with them, although getting a nice badge with them every now and then would be nice. Oh yeah, does support PCIe 3.0. You've got the serial number, the Gigabyte serial number there. As I said, it's a very good card. We have done some basic testing on it. Got 3 display ports, 1 DVI-I and HDMI. And of course the GeForce GTX logo there does glow, and we do have a little Gigabyte sticker on there, and it has 6-pin and 8-pin power connectors there, and just another part of the exhaust. There we have a quick comparison shot with my 780 Ti GHz edition. As you can see, the Titan Black is much shorter, and it's only this bit which makes it a bit deeper with the 780 Ti. And I'll flip them over quick, try not to damage them, especially this one. Now you can see the PCB on the two of them is exactly the same length, it's just that the cooler is a bit longer on this one. As I said, it would have been nice if this one came with a backplate, but at least it didn't make this mistake. So yeah, let's get it in the system. Right, hello everyone. As you may be able to see, I've got a new desk, so you've got a new angle on my room, as I'm now sat directly in the corner. But as I said before, I want to go over some notes quickly as regarding to its single and double precision float points. All measured in teraflops or gigaflops. Single precision float points, the Titan X has 7,000 teraflops, the Titan Z has 8,000 teraflops, which is not too bad considering the Titan Z is a dual graphics card. The Titan Black only has 5.1 teraflops, and the original Titan has 4.5 teraflops, so that's nearly double of that of the original Titan. Its double precision float points, on the other hand, for more 3D rendering or like Blender and stuff like that, is worse. So as NVIDIA have gone for a new SKU or something with this particular card, they've moved away from its professional applications and moved towards the gamers. And in some ways it's a good step, in other ways it's not such a good step. It has 200 gigaflops or 0.1 teraflops in the Titan X when it comes to double precision float points. The Titan Z had 2,700 gigaflops or 2.7 teraflops. The Titan Black had 1,707 gigaflops, and the original Titan has 1,500 teraflops and gigaflops. Sorry. Now, okay, it still has some double precision float points, but as you can see, compared to the other Titans, it's just nowhere near it. And I believe it's somewhere close to that of the 780 Ti, but I can't find the specs for the double precision float points for the 780 Ti. I know it does have some, but because I know the 980 has like 148 or something like that. You can correct me in the comments below. But like I said, I can't find the specs for its teraflops double precision float points. Now, it has a transistor count of 8 billion, whereas the Titan Z has 14 billion, so that's fairly high in comparison. Whereas the Titan Black, original Titan, and 780 Ti all have 7.1 billion transistors, so you can see there's an improvement in numbers in that respect. So that's it for those notes. Alright guys, been benchmarking this thing for over an hour now, and it does seem to be hitting some sort of thermal wall, 83 degrees, and it's causing it to thermal throttle, so we're not getting quite as good benchmarks as I was expecting, especially compared to what other people are getting. But I'm now holding that around 6 inches away from it, and you can hear just how loud that fan is. That fan is only currently operating at around 50% performance. With a normal non-reference cooler, that's probably how loud they'd be at full 100% cooling. But there are quite a few breathing and flashing animations for the side LEDs there. But I'll show you those in a bit once I finish benchmarking it. That's about it for now. Right, so just before we get into the benchmark results, I just thought I'd quickly mention that Unfortunately, this was benchmarked several months ago now, and I can't remember exactly what the core clock, not the claw clock, sorry, was at. It was left at stock, that much I do remember, but I can't remember what NVIDIA GPU Boost 2.0 would have put it to. For the test bench stuff being my personal system, the CPU's i7 4770K clocked at 3.9 GHz, 32 gigs of Corsair Dominator Platinum, running at 2400 MHz. It's all running off Note Z Revo Drive 3X2. At the time Windows 8.1, I've now upgraded to Windows 10. It's being compared against the MSI R9 295X2, the Gigabyte 970 G1 Gaming, the Gigabyte 780 Ti GHz Edition, and the Asus 980 Strix. So without further ado, we're getting to the benchmark, so cue the music. Benchmarks, we can see that the Titan X will outperform the 780 Ti usually by about 5 to 10 frames per second. I have seen that in gameplay as well, with the maximum around 20 frames per second average on like Warframe. It's still a fair amount under the R9 295X2, but that is a dual GPU, but that's far more unstable, as I've always said about it. Again, when it comes to the benchmark with the R9 295X2, I could not get that to work in 2560 by 1440 on my monitor. I don't know why that is, so I was keeping an eye on the benchmarks as they're rolling by for me. Now, for the card's performance, it does perform really well, but during the entire benchmark process, it was thermal throttling something chronic. It is a rather hot card. It was performing around 86 degrees, and it was throttling itself down to around 80% power consumption. Still 98% like GPU usage, but only around 80% power consumption, so it was really bringing itself down. Now for watercool, it has been since water-cooled. Now this is where this beast shines. It well outperformed the R9 295 X2 was water-cooled. You get a real performance increase just by water cooling it, still leaving it at stock because it does not thermal throttle anymore. You get a good 10 frames a second boost out of that, and then with some overclocking we experienced a further roughly 20 frames a second boost. That's almost 30 frames a second from what you could see on those benchmarks, between 20 and 30 frames a second, that is. So it is a beast of an overclocker. We managed to get the core overclocked by 250 megahertz thereabouts, and the memory by around 400 megahertz. So that's around 1450 megahertz we managed to get on the core, if I remember rightly. And like I said, this was done a while ago, so it's not quite so fresh in my memory anymore. But now that it's been water cooled, it's even on the full gaming load, it doesn't reach over 40 degrees. So it's a fantastic card. We can't seem to get it to go over 5 gigabytes of memory usage, and again, it uses the most memory so far is GTA 5. I do have another GTA, I do actually have a GTA performance test to show you in just a moment, compared to the Titan X and 780 my gigahertz 780 Ti. I will show those side by side, so without further ado, let me show you those quickly. You could see the GTA 5 benchmarks were against the 780 Ti and the Titan X. I no longer have access to the other cards that have been RMA'd and sent back and so on. Due to the memory limitation of 3 gigabytes on the 780 Ti, it caused a lot of laggy gameplay performance, especially when the benchmarks were in the middle of being recorded. You could actually see the real slowdowns and just the lag on the 780 Ti due to this. Both of the benchmarks were ran at complete ultra settings. On the Titan X, it used nearly 5 gigabytes of memory, and it wanted to try and use the same on the 780 Ti, but of course the 780 Ti doesn't have that much memory, so that caused its slowdowns quite a lot. The 780 Ti did often go down to single digit numbers in the frame rates. The playback which you just watched doesn't show quite how laggy it was when it comes to actually watching it and playing the game with the 780 Ti at those settings. The Titan X, although doesn't have the best frames per second with this, but it's a lot more stable and just smooth without all the lag as well. So the extra memory that you get with this Titan X does help future-proof this card for the foreseeable future when it comes to games. With like the 980 Ti, which should come out, which has got 6 gigs of memory, and I think I might be upgrading to that one for such as like GTA 5 and other games which may come out which need it. Both benchmarks were recorded at 1340 by 1440, 3440 by 1440 resolution, which is 21 by 9, as you know I game in by now. So that it does put a major strain on both the cards, especially for this game. For a lot of smaller games it's not so bad, but that's it. I do want to show you quickly the pulsating effects and so on the card's LED. I thought they were pretty cool and I thought I'd have a play with them, so let's go on to that, shall we? Right, so as I was saying, at the moment I've just got it on static 50% glow there for the LED on the side. Via the NVIDIA experience you can change the LED's animation and so on. So it's switched on there, you've got the style, no animation, breathing, and just apply. A bit difficult to see with this camera. Let's close the back blind quickly, sorry. You see a bit better now. But rather than just say it's breathing, as you can see here, you set it to different styles. The GPU temperature, utilization. We tried this last night with the utilization. It breathes different speed for different. It breathes faster the more of your CPU of the usage. Your GPU usage. Well, can't get my words out today. Sorry. You got like a flash. Apply that one. Oh, the camera don't want to focus now. You can change like the speed and so on. So, bit of a strobe light there. You got like double flash. There you got audio flash now. I like this one. You see there, it's not, the LED's now switched off, so there's a play some music. It's a shame you can't see it very well with this camera. Let's turn the max brightness down a little bit. Try to turn it all the way up. Anyway, yeah, that's just some of the different things you can do with the LED. So you got like a random function as well, which should make it do just about all of these. So I'll just leave it back on that for now. Be back with you guys later. Now to wrap this video up, sorry it's been a rather long-winded one so far. I'm still currently editing in Sony Vegas. It's like 23 minutes long, so yeah, sorry it's been so long-winded. The Titan X has been a rather brilliant card. Still got the box to hand here. I honestly did not expect some of the performances that came out of this to be so good. I made this video somewhat long-winded. I wanted to go into extra detail because I wanted to get it out just after the Titan X was released, but unfortunately due to delays and that, and how busy I've been with work recently, that's not been possible. So this channel might go a little dead for another month or two for the moment. I'm not entirely sure because of work. I'm a waiter and it's prime season now, so I'm working all day, most days of the week at the moment. So that's enough about that. Sorry. So when it comes to its performance, it is absolutely outstanding, especially under water cooling. And its overclocking potential is just amazing, which has been the same across the whole 900 series cards. The new Maxwell chipset seems to be a fantastic chipset, and I can't see what else, can't wait to see the next generation cards and performances that they come out with. But as I said, yeah, I definitely do recommend water cooling this card. It does thermal throttle like hell with the stock cooler, although the stock cooler has the LED effects which I quite liked on it. But yeah, I definitely do recommend that. I definitely recommend buying this card if you have the budget for it. It has come down in price recently. You can buy them brand new now, like 680 quid, £700 thereabouts. That's English pounds, GBP. So yeah, that's just about it for this video. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you dislike it, dislike it. That's Joyboy P signing out.